did I do that? I'm always doing that. I put my helmet on and I forget to strap it down. So a lot of good it's doing me. One of these lights is going to have to be red for me to strap this thing down. So we're in Orlando today, heading back to my little apartment, and you see traffic is horrendous in Orlando, just non-stop. But at least I got something fun to ride back. This ZX11, I mean, it's an old bike, it's a 94, but it still has plenty of power and it's comfortable. Carburetors, after you're riding a fuel injected motorcycle for so long, riding a bike with carburetors is totally different. You gotta remember, oh yeah, there's that fuel smell that you get when you're sitting somewhere. So you get a fuel smell, and I know a lot of people's, yep, there you go, look at that. Gotta stop for the school bus. Everybody's across the road, so now we can go. Hopefully I get a red light though, so I can finish putting this thing on. I would definitely like a red light right about now. Come on, turn red. You can do it. Turn red. Red? No. Not gonna turn red. And I'm gonna try and hook this thing through. There we go. I got it snapped on. Now my helmet is secured properly. And I remember to turn my fuel back on. So this time the bike is not going to shut off on me. I had a little snafu on the way here and forgot to turn the fuel back on. So when the bike went off, I'm like, oh no, what happened? What's wrong with the motorcycle? Oh no. Yeah. Dum-dum here forgot to turn the fuel back on. So that happens. I have a tendency for things like that to happen sometimes. See, I can't wait to take this thing to the mechanic. And do some things that I just don't have any business doing, like carburetors and valves. Yeah, I don't have any business messing with those. I'm gonna mess something up. Bolt-ons, things like that, yeah, I can do that all day long. Tearing motors apart, yeah, I can do that too, just as long as you don't want it to run when you get done with it. Oh, they've had a bad day and they're zipping around me like that too. Great. That's what we need. More bad drivers. Hasn't even got the last crash damage corrected yet and driving like a maniac around me. That's what people do. Yeah, I need to get this. These brakes need to be bled big time. Yeah, I think there's some more power to this bike. I think the carburetors are sticking, or something's going on with it. I think it's got more power than what it's giving me. So I've got this old school mechanic shop. They work on older Japanese motorcycles like this one here. And I'm thinking they can tell me any issues with it or anything else and get this thing running perfect. I mean, I didn't buy it to race with or anything like that. I bought it to commute on and just enjoy. But you see right there, it says I'm doing like 82 miles an hour. We're not doing 82. If I'm doing 82, then everybody else is doing 82 also. I just don't see that. There really isn't a whole lot of motorcyclists in Orlando. Like you would think that you would see a lot more bikers down here riding in this, just because it's easier to maneuver through traffic on a motorcycle. Also, I think that the toll enforcement should give a consideration to motorcycles. Why should we have to pay the same amount as a car does? We're using less gas, we're tearing up the roadways less, so what right do they have to charge us the same as a car? We should be half of what a car is. I mean, if a car is half of what a semi-truck is, it should be the same way. Shouldn't be any difference. Look at all these left lane hogs up here, hogging up left lane, not going anywhere, in their trailers, just blocking the road. Now this motor does sound vicious, I will give it that. I have 4-cylinder growl. Then I've got the Vance & Hines 4-in-1 on this thing. So now I'm just assuming that the carburetors were jetted at one time and it was running good. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, it would make sense that if the carburetors are not jetted properly, that I would have less power than what the bike should have with this 4-in-1 exhaust, especially on a carbureted motorcycle. I don't have the computer and everything on here to adjust the fueling and the air ratio, and so definitely there's nothing to compensate on this old motorcycle for a 4-in-1 exhaust just being thrown on and slapped on without some fuel management done via jet kit to the carburetor. Now, I'm not a real mechanic by any means, but I know enough to know that. I would like to know if this bike really only has 21,831 miles on it. If that's the case, then I'm sure, you know, just check the valves. They probably don't need to be adjusted. And work on the fueling. I've looked up, they got some progressive springs out there that are like really cheap, less than $100. So I can put some front fork springs in this thing and probably increase the handling tenfold. I'm just rambling on, enjoying my ride, not really paying attention to where I'm going right now. Yeah, it's nice being back on a sport bike. It's been forever since I've been on one. And I do love my Harley. I do love that feeling of the cruiser, but there's just something about riding a sport bike. Now, this isn't really a sport bike per se. It's more of a touring motorcycle, like a grand touring bike, something like that. But it's still a lot of fun. It still will outmaneuver a cruiser for sure. Well, I don't know about my Street Bob, actually. The Street Bob, with that new Harley frame, that thing handles amazingly. Now at speeds, at higher speeds, I'm pretty sure this thing will outhandle my Street Bob. But I mean, this thing is going to go faster than the Street Bob anyway. The Street Bob is going to top out about 120 miles an hour, and this thing is going to top out about 180, maybe 190, depending on, you know, if I get the fueling corrected and or how good the motor is. But I mean, it's good enough to be riding right now and keep up with traffic. And I don't think I've gone past 7,000 RPM in this thing yet. I know once I get past 7,000 RPM, I'm going to feel that it's got more power for sure. But it's just some of the throttle response that makes me believe that the fueling needs to be corrected. Now I'm in 6th gear and it takes off just like that, so I know that all 4 cylinders are hitting, that's for sure, or to be able to take off just like that. Now I'm sure if I downshifted one, I'd be back into the rev range, higher rev range, and this thing will take off. And these lovely toll roads. So be prepared to spend an extra $6 to $10 a day just driving on the toll roads in Orlando, or be prepared to spend an extra hour getting to where you're going. But that's where they get you. You either want to spend the $6 or you want to spend another hour driving. It's your choice, suckers. Yeah, we know exactly what they're doing. Now if they would actually just spend all the money that they make off these toll roads on the roads, actually. Oh, there's the Popo, look at him. State Trooper, FHP. He's out to get him one. Not gonna be me, not today. Not today, Satan, not today. More taxation. More taxation of the man. Just trying to make a living. Yeah, and I'm not running from you either. I'm too old for that, buddy. Yeah, that might be why I got rid of originally got rid of my sport bikes. Because I couldn't control my right wrist. And every time I got on that thing, I was doing 150 miles an hour. It just wasn't fun. It wasn't fun unless I was doing 150. And it wasn't comfortable at all. I was bent over, I was cramped up, and I enjoyed the heck out of riding it, but man, oh, I'm about to get off in a mile. Better pay attention to what's going on here. Yep, there's my exit. I see it. But anyway, yeah. And that was an 03 SV1000S. I had the full fairing on it. I had the 2-in-1 Yoshimura system on there. I had a Power Commander 3 or 5. It might have been a 3 back then. I think it was a 3. And I had the K&N air filter. I had the gearing adjusted. I had 1 down and 2 up or 3 up in the rear. It's been a while. It's been a great while. I bought that bike when it was new, and let me tell you, it will haul butt. Now it's not a GSXR 1000, of course, but the SV1000S with 130. I had 137 at the wheel. I had 137 at the wheel, and yeah, see there? It just feels like it should have more right there. I clicked it down to 5th gear. I know it's still 5th, but I mean, it should have more. I'm already in the upper rev range. Oh no. Maybe this bike just doesn't have a whole lot of power until after I get past 7,000 RPM. Maybe that's what it is. Well, eventually I'm going to find out. But I'm going to do it in a safe space. But yeah, eventually I'm going to find out exactly how much power this bike has and what it can do. Because you just can't help yourself on one of these motorcycles. That's what they're built for. This bike, when it came out, was the Speed King. It was the fastest thing you could buy. In 1994, yeah, it was the fastest thing you could buy. Until Honda came out with the CBR 1100XX, this was the fastest thing on the market. And then we all know what came out after the CBR 1100XX. It was the Hayabusa, the famed Hayabusa. And nobody could knock the Hayabusa off its throne until Kawasaki came back out with the ZX11. And now Kawasaki has just not let up. Now they got the Kawasaki H2R. They said, you know what? We're going to regain our title as the Speed Kings. And that's what they've done. That's exactly what Kawasaki has done. They started off with this bike that I'm currently riding, and they've progressed to now the Kawasaki H2R, which is a turbocharged, is a supercharged. I think it's turbocharged, isn't it? Isn't it a turbocharged motorcycle? Or do they make both? Maybe they do both now. I don't know. I think it started out as turbocharged. I don't know what it has been. I haven't checked up on it. But yeah. But still, they're a lot of fun. You just gotta be careful in this crazy traffic because these people are not looking out for you. And they will stop in front of you. They will turn in front of you. They will just, I don't know what they're thinking. Just like that trash truck did in front of Emmy that day, which is on one of our previous videos. You'll see it on the previous video of ours. And she had to slam on the brakes and tires smoking and everything because the trash truck just decided to try and do a 3-point turn in the middle of the road. Like they own the road. Nobody. You're not allowed to do that. You can't stop traffic and do a 3-point turn in the middle of the road. So, thank God Emily stopped and was able to correct herself. And nothing happened because I would have gone insane. And it wouldn't have worked out well for the trash truck driver because I wouldn't have been able to contain myself. I'm sure all of you husbands out there can understand and go along with me that something like that happens, it's not going to work out well for the guy driving. There's probably going to be a blackout period, and that's what I'm going to tell the judge. Yeah, I blacked out. Sorry. Saw my wife laying there, and it was game on. Don't know what happened after that. He was a bad driver, and you know, he got what he deserved. Sorry. $5.28. So, I read a study one time, and pretty much if you drive a minivan or a Volvo, you're some of the worst drivers on the road. I don't know. That's what the study said. It's not me. I'm just repeating what the study said. Volvos, yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that. She's on her phone. Is she paying attention? At least she's not holding it up in front of her. Yeah, ha 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 ha. Anyway, it goes without saying, that was a study, and I just passed a minivan with the driver on the phone, hauling ass, tailgating that car in front of her. Yeah. Okay, so maybe the study was correct. Maybe minivan drivers and Volvo drivers are the worst drivers. Maybe it's just minivan drivers. Maybe the study was wrong and it was just that one minivan. kind of doubting that. Which way am I going? The Cocoa or International Airport? On the 528. Another toll road. So we're taking one toll road to another toll road, or else we're going to spend all day getting where we're going. This suspension is really soft. Really, really soft. I'm thinking it's wore out. I'm thinking it's 30 years old and it needs some hill. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking anyone's 30-year-old suspension, whether it's got 21,000 miles or 100,000 miles, it's 30 years old. Well, it's not quite 30 years old, but it's close to it. It's not close enough for me to get that little blue tag where I never have to buy another tag. That's for sure. To get the antique tag, because next year I'm going to be applying for one. Yes, sir. Because if I can have this bike and, you know, it runs good and I don't ever have to buy another tag for it. Anyway, I don't ever have to buy another tag for it, and I don't know, I really don't want to have to put insurance on it. I need to call and just see how much it will be just to have insurance on this thing. Through my, I got health insurance. I mean, do I really want to put, I mean, what are they going to give me? And no, I've been in 3 wrecks. Just because you wreck on a bike does not mean you're going to die. Now, I did think I was going to lose a foot in my last wreck. I most certainly thought my foot was gone until that paramedic pulled my boot off and my foot was hanging there. I was like, oh, thank God my foot's still here. But is the insurance going to save me from being in a wreck if I don't have to have insurance? No. Is it going to, what, pay for the bike? Get it fixed? They're not going to fix this thing, man. They're going to say, oh, your bike is worth $1,200. Here you go. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. They're going to give you fair market value, and the fair market value is like $1,500 on this thing. So, yeah, no. So I'm going to pay $1,500. I don't want to pay $1,500 a year for insurance. And then, what, it's going to pay for my medical bills. I got health insurance that's going to pay for my medical bills. Okay. I got health insurance for that. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be wearing a helmet. And it's going to be a full-face helmet like I got on. And after my chain mount comes here, it's going to be my AGV helmet. My Valentino Rossi AGV helmet that my wife just got me for early Christmas. So yeah, I'll listen to the same purring like a kitten. Listen to it. It sounds good. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I run it up this hill? Should I see what it'll do? Should I hit it in first gear or second? Just run it up and I don't know. Let's see what the red line will do. What do you think? Do you think I should do it? Is it time? Is it time already? You know I'm itching to. It's hard not to do these things when you're riding one of these bikes. On a Harley, you know, you don't want to go to the red line. I mean, it's not, who cares? Who cares about a red line? We're cruising, we're relaxed. And I'm in a racier position on this thing. Like, it's kind of racy. Oh, there's a red light and traffic's going to be in front of me. So, what do you guys think? Is this thing just so planted that it doesn't feel like it's got all that much power? Because it looks like I'm hauling butt. This thing is planted though. And after I got in the revs, it started hauling booty. I mean, I still want to have it checked out though. I just want to get every pony out of this thing I possibly can. Well, till next time, thanks for watching.